welcome to the Swift Talk. I'm Kait, the Swiftie.
And I'm not so swift Sam, the Sam that is not so swift.
Yeah, the not quite Swiftie.
Not quite.
Not quite.
Not really.
Not quite.
Sort of not.
Not yet.
Really not.
Potentially a
Gonna be
hard pass.
hard pass. Hard no.
You're about as swift as a spilled cup of iced coffee.
Oh.
For those of us just tuning in, Jason is very upset because coffee was spilt, and it's company time.
But
at
we
these
don't
company
cry
assets.
over spilt coffee.
We didn't.
Smile because we had it.
We didn't. We helped out.
We did. Teamwork makes the dream work.
There you go.
So, Sammy, you want to play Sammy's Choice?
There's choices today?
I mean, very small, slightly inconsequential, but choices.
What do we got?
Do you want to talk hot topics or listener questions?
Ooh. I'm going to guess it's not the store in the mall.
No.
Let's start. Let's do hot topics,
Okay.
and then that'll get me in the mindset for listener questions.
So there are now choices with hot topics.
Oh, choices on choices. I feel like Sophie right now.
I'm like Baskin Robbins over here.
Mm.
Do you want to talk Spotify? Do you want to talk the Kelce family? Or do you want to talk about comedian Nikki Glaser?
Let's go CBA. Let's go Nikki down. Nikki back up the list.
So you know our girl Nikki
Mm-hmm.
hosted the Golden Globes, like really having a moment.
Mm-hmm.
Also, major Swiftie.
Mm-hmm.
Catching you two up. I know you guys know. But when Taylor's Miss America documentary came out, and they were talking about like the hate she was getting and the political zeitgeist and all of that, they actually showed Nikki Glaser making fun of Taylor. And Nikki saw that and she's like, oh, I don't want to be that person. And then she dug in and now she's like, she's a Swiftie. She saw her like 22 times at the Eras tour, spent like $100,000. Like, she's in. And so she happened to be at the Grammys, nominated for a comedy album, when Taylor was famously at the Grammys and people were interviewing her. And she goes, no, I'm like bordering on rude. Like, I won't look at Taylor. I don't want to meet Taylor. I don't want to get a picture taken with Taylor. And I was laughing as I'm reading it because I go, that's how I feel. Like, I know she's going to be great. Like, I know that she is going to meet every crazy expectation and I'm going to think it was like the best interaction of my life. However, where do you go from there?
Well,
Like, I can't like,
I mean, the documentary came out, what, 2019, 2018?
Miss Americana, yeah.
Yeah.
2019.
Yeah.
Just until like
just
2020.
Before COVID. Yeah, yeah. And so you have Nikki, who's not starting in her career, but her flag is just going up a bit higher, and Taylor's already like kind of still on the mountaintop, even with the fall off of everything.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's the idea of like she's punching up, and it's not about punching against something that's like terrible. It's about somebody who's got a way higher status than she does, and she made these jokes.
Mm-hmm.
Life happened. She's like, ooh, I don't like this idea. So now she's legitimate being like, my punishment to bear is I will support this person in their career and their endeavors with zero interest is the wrong word, but zero, all the resolve of never making an interaction with her to make myself feel better. I'm just going to make sure that I never placate that. Well, I'm not that bad of a person. I said these things. No, I'm just going to beeline it. The second Taylor Swift is in my direction, I'm going to, nope, can't do it. Bye, peace. Because it's apologizing to that person's face or just trying to have a conversation.
She's already apologized. She's already done, like,
Oh, yeah,
they're good.
on
There's no
film and
beef
everything
there.
else,
Like,
sure,
everyone's
sure,
good.
but she's never been like, hey, Taylor, it's me.
No. But also, like, you know, meeting Taylor Swift. Like, that's Taylor Swift. And I've met, like, I got to meet Judy Blume, which I didn't think anything would top that. But I think Taylor Swift would knock Judy down a peg. And I'm just like, I can't do it. Like, there would be zero chill. I'm not sure I would possess the English language anymore. Like, I would be a very much like, no, thank you. I'll be over there. I get it. I fully get it.
I don't think it's as much as the intimidation thing as it is I said something that's on the public record now that I can't take
No,
back.
she's come out and she was like, nope, she feels very similar. And she's like, I don't want to take away any of her energy, like of her trying to like make me feel warm and welcome. Like she's got to write songs. Like
I hope both of you get to finally just meet her
I
and
don't
she
want
comes
to.
over and she's like, hi, I'm Taylor
I don't
Allison
want
Swift.
to.
What's your name? And you just
no, thank you. Nikki Glaser, Anytime you want to come on the podcast. Anytime. But Taylor, I'd be like, good. Thanks.
All right, what's up with the Kelce family?
So Kylie did an interview with Call Her Daddy, the podcast with Alex Cooper. And she said something along the lines of, I left my notes at home today. But like, we weren't, in reference to talking about how they found out that Travis and Taylor were dating, it was like, well, we were told together, but it didn't like pop off in the group chat. Mm-hmm. And so some Taylor Swift commentators and podcasters have been talking about like, oh, do you think Tree Payne sat them down? It was like, so your brother is dating my client, and here's how this goes. Here's your playbook for navigating. And Swifties are kind of divided on it because some Swifties are like, yes, possible. Like, I can see it. And other Swifties are like, she didn't say that. You're putting words in her mouth. Stop, like, creating drama. And I was like, it could have gone a lot of different ways. But, like, when you're dating Taylor Swift, I assume there's a handbook. Here's what not to say. Here's, like...
What are the rules of engaging and being engaged to Taylor Allison Swift? Yeah.
Well, I mean...
So, but obviously, is this something that specifically he would have to pertain to, or is this something that extends really to the family as a whole?
Oh, who could... Honestly, with the limited knowledge I have of Taylor Corp, it probably was just Mama Kelce was like, so... Travis is bringing Taylor to the game. I'm sitting with her. You're going to see this. Travis is in his head a little bit. Didn't want to get any like teasing. So I'm telling you to be nice to your brother about this. It's probably what happened. It was probably Mama Kelce being like, no teasing him right now.
He's got a big game this Sunday, all right?
It's a
He's
big
already
game.
Stressed out enough.
She's coming. Like, just...
His girlfriend's here. Come on, guys.
Like,
just be nice to him. Throw him a bone. He needs a win.
Like,
it's not going to be in the Super Bowl. He needs a win.
Don't bully your baby brother. That was my take on it. I was like, I bet Mama Kelce was the one's like, I got this. Sure. I will make sure Jason doesn't make fun of you or say something he's not supposed to say. I'll put the fear of mom in him. We'll be fine. And Kylie was just like, I'm here.
All right. So we've covered somebody who's afraid of what they've said. We've covered people that are afraid that you might say something. All right, what was it, Spotify?
Yeah, so Spotify, we talked about it, I think, a couple weeks ago. They were doing in Asia this like listener experience with Taylor Swift through the eras, and you could buy your tickets. I didn't really understand it, and I wasn't going to get to go, so I didn't put too much like bandwidth into it. Mm-hmm. And then the other day, I have like a Taylor Nation Instagram story, like the little circles lit up. Mm-hmm. I was like, oh, I wonder what's going on there. New merch? Do I get to buy something? So I clicked on it, and nothing, like it wouldn't show it to me. I'm like, that's strange. And like, so I let it go a little bit. Like 15, 20 minutes later, I clicked again, and I was like, what's happening here? And then somebody I follow posted, they're like, so you can get a tailor-made Taylor Swift podcast based on what you listen to. It won't work. So we're like, wait, what is happening? So finally, like, Instagram got its act together after we broke it. And I clicked on it, and Spotify made me my own This Is Taylor Swift playlist based on the era and the songs I listen to the most. It is so good. I've been listening to it on repeat. It's so perfect for me. I'm thrilled. Thank you, Spotify.
It's based off of the era you listen to the most?
Yeah, which, I mean, I guess.
This is called an album.
You're right. You say album, I say era. Potato, potato.
Okay.
Do you want to guess which era I got?
Midnights. No? Tortured? Wow.
Makes sense. I've been I'm still not fully immersed in it.
You have been wearing a lot more black. A lot more black.
I know. I'm in my black today. Blackest Reputation, though. We still don't have that. Although, I mean, there's like super, super gossipy. Like, I won't even read the articles, but the headlines are like, Taylor Swift about to make a big announcement. I'm like, I'm not going to let myself hope. I will not be clowning. I will not. She has to release it soon. But we got a Selena Gomez album coming out, and we think she might be on that album.
Taylor might be on Selena.
Mm-hmm. There's a leaked track list that has Taylor on it. But, you know.
Outside of her producer and his album, she hasn't done a lot of collabs lately on other people's albums.
Gracie Abrams.
She was on Gracie's?
She was on Gracie's. She did Us. And Gracie is on Sabrina's with Call Me When You Break Up, which is a very fun song for the summer. So we're like, oh. And everyone's like, oh, well, like, Taylor introduced Selena to Gracie, but actually Gracie knew Benny Blanco, Selena's co-host, or Selena's fiance.
Fiance. Ah.
Yeah. Yes. It's a small world we live in.
It is. It is.
Taylorverse. You know, we got Sabrina collabing with Dolly Parton. We got Gracie collabing with
what a dream.
Serena.
All right. The fact that, like, there hasn't, like, a Taylor Dolly thing. We talked about, like, the dream team of, like, the singers before.
Yeah.
The fact that Sabrina gets to ride the high of winning in the Grammy, getting chart-topping songs, all this money,
touring
this
with
great
Taylor.
tour. Now she gets to work with Dolly.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, man. And Dolly's singing your song.
With you.
Yeah.
In a music video.
Yeah.
Where you get to cosplay as, like, God Lover. And, like, Gracie is collabing with Taylor. She's also a big fan. And now with Selena. Like, this is just, what a year for pop girlies. What a year. In my pop girl era. I'm always in my pop girl era. Who are we kidding? Maybe you two will join me.
I'm going to probably be kicking pop rocks.
Unlikely.
Well, whatever.
All right.
Stranger Things. So.
Stranger Things. Taylor's going to be Stranger Things season 5?
Probably not.
Probably not.
You imagine that?
Travis might be. He does things.
Well, based off of his wardrobe going to the Super Bowl, he has done some strange things as well.
He's worn some strange things.
They are trying to find a new James Bond.
I don't think he's right.
I'm thinking Taylor Swift.
Oh, yeah. Have you seen her act?
Well, I've heard her act like she's from the South a couple times. I've heard her act really surprised about being in Maine.
Are you ready for listener questions?
Let's go with some listener questions.
All right. So I don't have a name because they did not provide one. But we did get a message that wants to know, Sam, do you really come in blind every week? Or do I prep you on the way in?
The eye drops are placed prior to going through the door into the studio. Yeah, I don't listen to any of this
We
stuff.
don't talk about Taylor at all on the way in.
No. Talk about life and work. And then go into, Sam, I need you on your best behavior today. Please don't embarrass me.
I haven't given you that pep talk in a while.
Yeah, I'm just like rounding it out.
Yeah. I mean, that only happens once in a blue moon.
The pep talk. No, I don't, we'll listen to it maybe again afterwards, but never before.
Nope. I don't even prep you on hot topics usually. Every so often, I'll let you watch like the Saturday Night Live monologue. Cannot talk today.
That happens.
But it's a very strange. I didn't even have you listen to or watch the Fortnight music video. Yes. Oh, because we're going to watch it together.
Oh, wait a minute.
Oh. I've already kind of seen it. I know it's black and white. I know it involves a typewriter and like an office building and then an endless highway.
Yeah, we've already seen it.
She looks at what she's shot and she's like, this is really cool.
That was the Fortnite challenge. That's a different
The Fortnite challenge? What's the Fortnite challenge?
That's close enough.
What's the Fortnite challenge? Is it like building a...
It was make your own thing with YouTube Shorts about like...
Make your own thing with YouTube Shorts?
Yeah, she likes YouTube Shorts. I think she was starting to get, like, if TikTok did go away, she was going to be...
TikTok didn't even go away for a fortnight.
Thank God. Thank God. I didn't even know what to do with myself.
I don't think I've had TikTok on my phone for at least a year.
Well, you can't get it now.
I don't know about that. I don't know.
You can't get it now?
I don't know
If they
about
took
that.
it out of the App Store, I don't think it's back. Is it back?
It might be.
Oh. It hasn't updated on my phone, which is fine. As long as it's working, I don't care.
Still waiting for Napster to download onto my phone.
Well, Sam, one of these days.
One of these days.
Just make sure you've checked it out for copyright and virus.
I'm getting it through LimeWire. So.
Oh, yeah, you're totally fine. Totally fine. Don't open any weird links. Well, on that note, should we listen to the song and watch the music video?
Let's listen
Let's do
to
50%.
a music video.
Yeah, let's watch 50% of that. Let's do 50% of that. Listen to the song.
And
And you can watch the video on the way home.
but how are we going to talk about the video if you haven't seen the video?
Crickets.
He'll get there. He'll get there.
All right, we're going to hit pause. You hit pause. We'll be back shortly on your end. On our end, we'll see how this goes.
We'll see how it goes. Going in blind.
We'll be right back. Well, Sam.
It looks like you just came from the dentist or you're going to the dentist with memories of being hurt at the dentist. It's like you already look like I'm coming at you, throwing the punches.
Well, this doesn't scream Sam to me.
If we turn the volume down lower.
We can't turn
Kate, you know how...
If it's too loud, you're too old.
You know how the Talking Heads are one of the best bands that ever existed? And we both agree that one of the best songs that was ever made was Naive Melody brackets, This Must Be the Place. Okay. Fantastic song. You or I or somebody else could hear this song and be like, this song is the best. And somebody else could hear this song and go, I don't really get it. And then you try it because you really understand and you get it. Like, this is a love song. Okay. Written for a lamp. Okay. You lost me. Well, listen, hear me out. And like you show them the video and you talk about it and you get it. And because you get it and like it clicks with you like the light bulb, you're like, it's obvious, right? And they're like, who let you in here? Get away from me. Help. Somebody call the cops.
I feel like that's the premise of our podcast every week. Yes.
Sure. This song fully encapsulates that because I'm looking this over and it's like, okay, I could go into what is Taylor trying to say here? However, with genius lyrics, you can find
I'm on
lyrics
genius
like a
lyrics,
genius.
but you can't take what's highlighted as gospel here. There are no Easter eggs in the highlights.
Oh, no. The highlights are who's singing what.
Oh, yes.
And so this is a great, somebody's on a Taylor song and I'm looking it over and they've highlighted it and bolded it in sections where Taylor's singing, Post Malone is singing, Taylor and Post Malone are singing. And I'm looking at this and it's like, wow, Post Malone's a bona fide backup singer on this. He gets half of an outro and then like a ruining my life. Like it's literally just he's a backup singer and there's layers of Taylor vocals over it. Ruining my life.
We may struggle with what it means to feature someone or be featured. We may struggle with that. You can ask Lana.
I think that, here's my theory. I think that Taylor, before she became the singer-songwriter that you know and love today, she once dabbled in theater. She once dabbled in dance. She once dabbled in something. And so it was like, oh, well, Taylor's one of the featured performers. And she came out as the tree.
Been there. Been there.
Like, that's exactly what it is. And so, well, no, I'm featuring you.
You're featured.
Just the way, like, I was, tell me your Taylor is petty without telling me that she has experience in the arts before all of this. Oh, wait.
You know.
It's interesting that this was the lead single.
Yeah.
It's such a dopamine drip.
It's
not even, no. It's melatonin. This is melatonin.
It's a choice.
It's
You know me, I do not ever. She puts
You're
out
never going to say a hateful thing about her, which is fine by me.
No, let me finish. I don't care for the singles she picks. Her first single is not. Every time I get a first single from Taylor, I'm like, oh,
You're a track fiver.
God. I'm usually a track one or two, and this is a track one. I'm like, There's so much better on this album. And so I'm always like, Taylor, what were you thinking? It's like with Shake It Off was her first 19. And like, I know you love that song, but that song is not indicative of that album.
I understand that I'm trying to sell you on a love song to a lamp right now. But that is like, it's the energy, it's the song that goes, now I want to listen to what else she's got. Or I just want to keep listening to that song. This song here mentions Florida, which in my mind has a lot more of a, this is how you actually feature somebody type of situation.
Ish. Yeah.
It has the bigger energy. It can be a radio play. It could be in a dance hall. It can be something because it's bombastic. And it's not the flair boom, ta, ba, ta, ba, boom, ba, where it's bubblegum popping. It's like that's Nerd's Rope. Florida is an Almond Joy, and then you open up the wrapper and it's a Snickers bar. You're like, oh, okay, Taylor's got a song, and then it's like Florida, and it's an actual good candy bar, and you're like, holy shit, yeah, this is what I want to listen to. This is great.
You did not care for Florida. Roll back the tape.
I don't care for Almond Joy, but I'm saying compared to this song,
so
this is somebody saying, hey, I got you one of those protein bars that's made of dates, and you open it up, and it's prunes.
Yeah. So I did a little digging because I was just like, all right, Taylor, you've got to have something to explain yourself on this one. Because while I don't hate the song, it's not like, oh, I should put this on a playlist. It is good background music. And I remember when this album came out, a lot of people were like, what is this? All the songs sound the same. I don't get it. And then like by the 15th time we all listened to it, we're like, the nuance. The nuance. Which is a conversation that was had at a girls' night. So, you know, she's talking about this kind of sets a tone for the album. It is very like despondent. It's like, I love you. It's ruining my life. Your wife waters flowers. I want to kill her. My husband's cheating. I want to kill him. Like, it's very much this like come from despair, almost completely detached. Like saying the things that you think, but you don't say out loud. She's saying inside thoughts. And you're like, okay, here we go. And so when you look at this as like the opening manifesto for the Tortured Poets, you're like, oh. And I thought it was interesting the way she chose to use Post Malone, where he was like the backup to the backup, because the story is about the album. The story is about Taylor working through, and the relationships with the men she's talking about kind of are backup singers. Like, this is her working her way through what's happening. This is her way of working through these big emotions that she has, but not actually, she's not there yet. She's not healed yet. She's detached.
But aware of it.
But aware.
Right.
There's a word I'm looking for, and I can't I don't know.
No, you're fine. Maybe it'll come to you if I.
It's gonna come to me in the car.
It's fine. This is like the video. This song. It feels like it's the Stepford Wives, but you've stepped back 50 feet and you see it's like a dystopian future. Like everything is terrible outside of the home, and so you have like that 40s, 50s. This is how your Miss Americana should be at home. The functioning alcoholic. I should have been sent away a long time ago because, you know, back in the day when women got excited, we had to put them in the insane asylum because they were having what we call a libido now. Like, it's this craziness, the hysteria of it being, she's supposed to be the idyllic person. She's supposed to have the idyllic relationship. Everything that she does, which is numbing her pain, or we're saying is like, oh yeah, well, this is common sense. We get that. Your accessory, the drink in your hand, is only an issue when you're spilling the drink. And when now we're like, oh, she dropped her prop. So, and you have somebody who's like, you're quiet treason, the guy who now lives next door and she sees every day, who she's coveting, who she wishes she had a relationship with.
I think she did. Like, they had a slight affair, and whether it was while they were together with their significant others or it was something that happened, like, we live in a small town. Mm-hmm. And there's definitely been these kind of unanswered, unfinished relationships that have ended, situationships, I guess is a better word for it, that I've had. And then I go get a drink with coworkers after work, and they're there with their coworkers. Sure. And you have to be like,
yeah,
how are you? Nice to see you. Like, you have to kind of be adult about it, because you can't have feelings anymore because you've moved along.
So, okay, dig deep with me. Let's say that she is an actual mastermind and genius. This song is then about the no-fault divorce. This is about the idea of, like, before in the 1950s, if you got a divorce, it was somebody's fault. They had to pay, they were reprimanded, they had to pay fines. It was everything crazy. No-fault divorce being introduced was like, yep, we're just two people that are separating, and that's it. And the idea is when you separate, it's supposed to be, the idea is the clean break.
Yeah.
it is two separate things now going in two separate directions. That's it. And it's messy when it's like, oh yeah, we don't live in the same house anymore, but they're my neighbor.
Right.
Or the idea of it being, I'm a A-list celebrity in a movie, and now I have to work with the A-list celebrity in the same movie because we keep getting hired in the same projects in different roles, but we dated in real life, and now we don't even want to share the same camera lens.
Yeah.
Can we film our things separately and be in the same project? It's such a messy idea.
Mm-hmm.
And when it's kind of like in comic books, they're like, if you're a superhero, don't date people that aren't superheroes. It's too much stress. It's too much worry. If you're a celebrity, why date somebody who's not a celebrity? They don't understand it. But when you are, if you're just saying, I'm sticking to my pond and I'm only dating in my pond, I'm only making relationships in my pond, it's a small pond at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Taylor Corp might be growing over the world, but she's the only one living in it.
Yeah.
So the idea that every time she either like with full intent is reaching out to be with somebody, or just because they are there and she needs something to grab onto, when those relationships don't work out, it's now been pulled into the orbit. It's always going to be a satellite around it. We're always going to go, oh, Taylor Swift. These are people that she's had negative interactions with.
Well, and if you think about like what we know, how this would fall into the Taylor Swift relationship timeline, we know that there was probably some flirtation, mild or heavy, with Maddie Healy back in the 1989 era.
Mm-hmm.
It was quick. It was fleeting. It was done. And then she got into, now she's in this relationship with Joe. And there were rumors that Joe was cheating on Taylor with a co-star. And so you're listening to the song and you're like, I get it. Like, he's in her world. They're in London. They're artists in London. Like, they're going to run into each other. That was something that was brief, but happy and fun and interesting. And now you're in the monotonous of the hard. Like, you've had that, like, you're in this death march to breaking up. Like, that there's nothing left to fight for. Like, he's lost you. We've called off the armies. Like, we're done. But you have to then go through with you live in limbo right before you break up, right before you make that. You're in this limbo where you're like, I know what I should do, but my life is comfortable and I don't want to be a failure. And I've put so much time and so much energy into this. And the thought of like cutting it off feels huge.
Mm-hmm.
But the thought of living in this makes me want to die.
Sure.
And now I'm standing next to the person that I last felt something with. And there was somebody else and they seem to be perfectly happy and they are perfectly content. And here I am, miserable. And like the juxtaposition of that. And you see this kind of like play out through the Tortured Poet songs. And you see her struggle with like, were you the loss of my life or the love of my life? Or both? Are you like, did you cheat on me? Is this like, I have to say goodbye to this place I've loved for so long. Like the utter gut wrenching of the big breakup that was inevitable.
Mm-hmm.
And then the mess of the rebound. And then you get a little hope.
So the quiet treason.
Yeah.
She's emotionally volatile. This relationship isn't working. Somebody is in her mind gassing her up,
Mm-hmm.
making her feel like this is how I wish I felt in my relationship.
But it's all in her head because they're just getting the mail.
Right. Right. It's in some ways, okay. Here's the deal. If Taylor's the gold standard, the only reason gold has value is because we deem that it has value. All
Sure.
right.
Yeah.
So the nuance that we say is in this song, in my mind, this is again we're singing a love song to a lamp. We're giving it the nuance. So yes, it's there because we see it. This is the seeing eye picture that's like, oh, it's the dolphin, it's the sailboat, because we see it, right?
Yeah.
If anything, this song works in the sense of like when you really dig into it, when you're really searching for it, something, you're sifting through the dirt to find the gold. Yeah, definitely. I do feel like this song was, and again, if I'm going to say she's the mastermind, this song has been chopped up so much into the TikTok, into the shorts, into the clips, and it works like that.
Mm-hmm.
The full song is the full song, but people really like 12 to 20 seconds of the song specifically.
And it's that line, I love you, it's ruining my life.
Yeah.
Because you can relate to that.
When you told me that this album was coming out and these are the leaked track titles, and you said Fortnite, my first thing was like, video game. Da, da, da. It was like, okay, with Post Malone, this has got to be a weird video game type of reference thing. Clearly nothing to do with that. And it's nothing clever about the idea of what a fortnight is. It's just for a fortnight, for a small period of time. Small enough, but large enough that we gave it its own word, Fortnight.
Yeah, I think when Taylor moved to London, she cosplayed a little in the Jane Austen world, and she cosplayed a little bit of the poets. And, she lived this English countryside, like Jane Austen, Pride and Prejudice, Emma world. And now we're seeing her come out of it. You're seeing her, like, start to shed that skin a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just really fascinating. And I like to say Tortured Poets is your favorite Swifties' favorite album, because this song was written for the Swifties. Like, it is full of digging deep, mining for lyrics, really like looking at these like micro aggression lyrics almost, and painting your picture with it.
It feels like the retirement home for grunge. It feels like if Kurt Cobain was still with us, this is kind of, because that's exactly what it is. The idea of the micro.
Yeah.
You go through so much of your life shedding away and divulging into all those things that immediately affect you in your art, and you have to keep going deeper, that you're finding the smallest things.
Is this Taylor's foray into grunge?
Never mind. It's a Nirvana reference. Never mind.
I know, I got that.
I don't know, dude. It's not a terrible song. It's definitely not my favorite song, but it is. It works until it doesn't. It's a toast handheld. It's convenient until it isn't convenient.
Niche reference. I love it. Yes. Also agree. It's one of those songs, and I think it's a way that it's an interesting way for her to start the album and kind of lay it out there for you. Getting somebody, putting Post Malone on there was a splash. Putting him on there, like, she doesn't do anything.
There's nothing reckless besides like lines 3 and 4, where it's like a real stretch with trying to fit those words into those stanzas. Dude.
We like words.
Mm-hmm.
We like big words.
I was a functioning alcoholic till nobody noticed my new. It's like an E Cummings poem at that point.
Well, she was in her poet era. Tortured poets.
And I'm the balloon man.
E. Cummings was also a tortured poet who
yeah, he was.
Didn't grasp capitalization or punctuation at times.
That's true.
Gen Z, check them out. I'm sorry, don't come for me, don't cancel me.
No, but you should look up who E. Cummings is. You should.
Actually, a great poet.
Yeah.
So that was took a different turn. I'm actually glad I didn't have my notes, because it took a different turn than I thought it would have.
This is why going in blind sometimes is beneficial.
Got, lessons, not so swift lessons.
Mm-hmm. Not so swift lessons with Sam. Tuesdays at 9 at 8.
Well, let's roll the dice. Let's see what we get to learn next week.
All right. Each and every week, we roll the dice given to us by Jillian Petruzziello. Thank you for being a friend and a fan and an awesome person. You know what one of my favorite grunge bands and songs is, Kate?
No.
It's called Add It Up by the Violent Femmes. So instead of doing what we normally do, where we roll for an album, roll for a song, I'm going to roll out 2 numbers for an album. I'm going to roll out 2 numbers for a song, because odds are it's Taylor Swift. There's like 40 songs per deluxe, super edition, ultra rare, Vista, Alta, Vista.
Anthologies.
I'm sorry. I thought we were calling them Spotify playlists. All right.
Eras.
We're going to roll 2 for an album, all right?
All right, 2 for an album. What you got for me?
Okay, let's see here. 3, which would have been Fearless. No. 3
Speak
would
Now.
Speak Now. Okay, this is why. All right, could have been a Speak Now.
Sorry, Speak Now.
And a 7, which was a Lover. No, which was
Midnights.
7 was Midnights. Wait, no. 3 and 7. 3 and 7 is 10.
Yeah.
What is album 7?
Album 7's Reputation.
Reputation. Okay.
No. Album.
It's The Forest. It's The Forest.
Now I'm all thrown.
All right. 3
Somebody
and 7
just
is
yelled
10.
at 6 is Reputation, 7 is Lover.
Okay. So 3 and
Right.
7 is 10.
4 is 5, 6, 7. Yeah. I'm confused.
This is why adding up the errors is hard, man. So it's crazy that Spotify did this.
I thought we were doing album 11.
There's album 11? What's album 11?
Tortured.
Tortured? I'm going by...
going to full disclosure this one. I told Sam I wanted to do a different Tortured Poet song, and I pulled an audible, and I picked the song for next week.
It's all good.
And he's trying so hard but I left my notes at home. So he tried so hard to help me out. We're going to do the prophecy off Tortured Poets this
Do
week.
the prophecy.
Yeah.
All right. Try to
Only
do the
because
math.
I can't get the remix out of my head still. And so I thought it would be fun to give you
There's
guys
a
a little,
remix of it?
kind of.
Who remixed it?
It's
Danger Mouse?
No.
Daft Punk?
No. It's a TikToker. Major Vibes. But the prophecy Major Vibes remix might get Jason not to hate the song. So
There we go.
we're going to try it out.
Yeah.
So that's why I was just like, I can't get this out of my head. And it was on my Spotify Taylor Swift playlist. And I was like, I want to do that next week. And so Sam so graciously tried to help me.
Try and do.
But I failed them.
You know what? Not all prophecies come true.
No, that's okay. This one will. So if you have any questions,
so many questions. Feel free to write in. Ask us a question.
we'll answer them on air.
Yeah.
You can ask Sam. You can ask me. I screen them though, so
I go in blind. I answer just as blindly.
if you haven't already, like, follow, rate, subscribe, review, tell all of your favorite Swifties and your not so favorite Swifties.
Yeah. Yeah. Share with your enemies. Share with your family. Let us know if you hear any good Taylor gossip or what your favorite era is, what Spotify recommended to you.
Yeah. Mine cut deep, so I can't wait to hear what you guys got.
Let us know why Shake It Off is still the best song ever.
Yeah. Sure. Let us know. And make sure you come back next week.
Yeah.
Well, we do the prophecy of Tortured Poets. Thanks again for listening. I'm Kait the Swiftie.
I'm not so Swift Sam.
We'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.